Guillermo, anything you want to address?
Jimmy, I'm
A horse humanoid hybrid.
All right, look.
There you go.
Alex, I have to leave you now. I know we try to give you an opportunity to get your voice out there, and I hope you enjoyed it.
I understand you got to go give the Chi-Com's MERV technology for the ICBMs. By the way, apologize to the panel. We didn't get to clean out the computer. Arab Obama, do you have anything you would like to add today? All right. Enough out of here before you put a hex on us.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
Howard, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
And by the way, what's your one-stop shop for survival gear, books, and wellness supplements at a discount price?
What?
Infowars.com. You get the info. Warrior Patriot Pack. You buy the Patriot Pack, you get the new book, you get the Secret Ancient Brain Milk, full of vitamins, full of toxins. Buy now, and you'll get a Jimmy Kimmel Loves NAMBLA t-shirt. We're selling those.
That might be a big insurance. This is a Howard Stern comedy piece that I guess happened this morning for TV and radio. And for TV, it is a lot funnier. Jimmy Kimmel is in studio with Howard Stern. And they have these puppets and this Alex Jones impersonator that actually takes real quotes I've said and then just edits them together or strings them into other quotes that don't make sense. But I've never said that Jimmy Kimmel or George Soros are running child kidnapping rings. I've said the UN's been caught, the globalists have been caught, WikiLeaks has all that. I've talked about Soros trying to overthrow our country, trying to foment division, being a Nazi collaborator. And you can say, oh, well, this is satire. But people really believe I'm saying these things out of context. So I'm going to play the Stern piece, then I'm going to play an extremely well thought out, documented, researched piece by Greg Reese. Are the Clintons involved in human trafficking? Do snails have shells? Do birds tweet? Do bears live in the woods? The article is up on Infowars.com and Newswars.com with the video. And then we go into all the traffickers around them and all the trafficking and all the cover-ups. It's powerful. So, again, I want to say to Kimmel and everybody else, the system has put the talking point out everywhere to make jokes about Jones and how there's no child kidnapping and there's no pedophilia. NAMBLA's out there. They're sexualizing kids everywhere. It's all over the news. They're coming after our children. That's admitted. And I don't think Howard Stern and Jimmy Kimmel want to be part of stuff like that. I think it's sick. I think it's dangerous. And again, it's serious. Look at the Catholic Church and all the pedophile rings in it. Look at all the serious things we've talked about that have come out and turned out to be true. Children are a currency being used by this vampiric world government system. And they got Soros eating babies in here, and all it's a big joke. What about 5 states passing laws to kill babies after they're born and harvest their organs? Howard Stern, you feel safe in a world where we don't value human life and we take babies and kill them? Last time that happened was Nazi Germany. So the Clintons' expiration date's been out for a while. They're like rotten yogurt or rotten milk in the refrigerator. I mean, they were supposed to be put out to the curb years ago. They're supposed to be in the landfill right now. But you've got all these cloistered so-called elites hanging onto the system that still think the Clintons are cool. Little memo to Howard Stern. Clintons aren't cool. And I think you know that. Because some of these attacks are actually good humored by Stern. Because he's done a bunch of these, and I watch a lot of them. And we had a good interview when I was on Stern. I've been on his other shows a bunch. Obviously, I'm the hottest interview you can get. I mean, I'm one of the hottest interviews out there. Joe Rogan's third and second biggest podcast are yours truly. Only Elon Musk has like 57 million total with all the podcasts together. I've only got like 40-something million. But I'm climbing to be number one. So it's not like, oh, please have me on your show, Howard Stern. But you do have a big show. I'd like to speak for who I really am. And I'm a friendly, nice guy when I'm on. I'm not trying to get points against you. But Stern needs to have me on. I've been on before. If Stern's his own man, he won't just have me as a puppet on there saying things I never said or things I did say out of context. So here's Stern's report with Jimmy Kimmel this morning in New York, and then we'll come back with the real child trafficking. And guys, print me that Senate report. Washington Post, Senate report confirms Obama shipped in kids for child kidnapping. I want to show folks that when we come back, but here it is. Thanks.
You love Alex Jones on this show. You can't get Alex Jones anywhere else. The government has banned him. He's been removed from
everything.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And so the only place to hear his conspiracy theories and whacked out stuff is right here on the show. So because you love when he comes on our show, I've arranged today for you to talk and to enjoy Alex Jones. Let's go right to Alex, and you can see him up on the screen here.
Flashing through the lies and disinformation.
Oh, the video
Alex
element
Jones
is great.
Coming to you live from the front lines of the InfoWar.
Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv. I am here speaking with the controlled corporate media gatekeepers, degenerate Satanist Howard Stern, and the leader of 4 pedophile cults, Jimmy Kimmel. Good morning.
Good morning.
By the way, you're having a tremendous... I was just telling Jimmy, you're having a
Why
hard...
are you moving like that?
Yeah, what's the matter? You seem like you shot out of a cannon.
I've had a lot of bone broth this morning. Bodies out the bone broth. Get you feeling good.
Bone broth you eat.
The bone broth, it is so good. It's loaded with vitamin R. Listen, Jimmy, I know you're in New York right now for the annual Bilderberg meeting where the technocracy takes drugs in a temple and interfaces with the Palantirs for planetary control of the interdimensional connection.
Right.
I know that.
Right. No, he's in the town for something called the Upfronts for ABC.
It's an advertising event.
That's not true. It's the Bilderberg meeting. Listen, I cover this all in my new book, Alex Jones Exposes Globalist Pedophile Cults Again. You can get the new book.
And Jimmy's in it, and I'm in it.
You're in. It's about my interviews. It's about Roger Stone, the Plum Island subhumanoids, the janitor from Sandy Hook. It's all in the book. It's great.
So everyone is excited that you're here this morning. What is going on? They've taken you off every media outlet. We can barely see you anywhere.
We have been shadow banned. By the way, I should mention I brought the panel in studio today. I brought the guys in. We got George Soros, Hillary Clinton, and Arab Obama, the triad of evil. We're all here.
No, that's your team? They're all there with you?
That is my team. George Soros, you know Jimmy Kimmel, right? You guys are friends?
Jimmy, I haven't seen you since the Luciferian sacrifice. Hail, Soros.
Wow, friends reunited. It's beautiful, Jimmy.
Who else is on your panel that you're talking to there about Jimmy?
You got the great Hillary Clinton over here.
I'm the reptilian Antichrist. I love eating Mexican immigrants' arms and fingers.
Thank you very much, Hillary. Howard, I know you used to have George Soros come on your show all the time when you guys would play Wheel of Soros back in the day.
Yeah.
I love that. Back in 2002. Do you remember that?
No.
I'll prove it to you right now. Roll the clip. You'll see.
Hey, now, it's time for...
Wheel of Soros!
All right, Soros, spin that wheel. Okay. I hope it lands on Baby Feast. Hail, Soros. Yes!
What the fuck is going on?
Hey, now. Soros needs to feed.
One of my favorite bits.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember. All right, Alex.
I feel like 80% of that was lost to the radio audience,
I
but
know.
it was
I'll
pretty
have it-
great. And
I'll have a talk with Alex
I
later.
don't think you're innocent in this either. I know you're constantly calling for the trans-species endgame, the demonic experiments being done on lower hominids. You go on your show, you admit you're subhumanoid. I know you do this, Jimmy. Don't lie to me.
Well, you stop attacking Jimmy. Jimmy's my guest, okay?
I have a clip of Jimmy admitting he's subhumanoid.
Oh, clip.
Roll the clip.
All right, go ahead.
We also have to ask ourselves, have I been entirely truthful? I don't know about you, but I'm not. I haven't been entirely truthful. I'll give you one example. These are my
Subhuman crab claws.
that is my truth.
All right, so the producer calls up today and said, Alex actually thinks this is funny, like I'm uptight, like I'm like them, I take myself serious. No, but making fun of dead kids, not funny. I guarantee you, I done more wild stuff than Howard Stern and Jimmy Kimmel combined ever have. Not bragging, it's true. Everybody knows it. Not just in politics, not just in life, everything. So I want all these cool New Yorker guys to get stuff straight. I think New Yorkers are cool. But you guys think down here in Texas we like ride around on horses and stuff. I mean, I do that too. And you think, I can't believe the producer called us and thought we were mad at this. Like, oh, you made fun of me. I'm going to go cry. I like being made fun of. I want to escape from stuff. I think a lot of times Howard Stern's very funny. He's very talented. I mean, sometimes the stuff goes too far, but that's his free speech right. And, you know, I've said it before he ever had me on the show. I said, Howard Stern, when you're driving across, you know, on a 10-hour road trip, he's very listenable compared to most shows where you want to blow your head off. This isn't some ass-kissing thing towards Howard Stern either. But the fact that when they had me on, like, I don't know, 8, 9 years ago, whatever it was, and I was on a bunch of their other shows like 30 times or more, they go, no, you're not going to try to sneak attack him on air. You're not going to try to, like, put him down or anything. And I'm like, Howard Stern's not a wimp. But no, I don't do that. I'm going to come on and talk about my issues. If he attacks me, I'll attack back. And they call up today, and they're like, really, you're not mad? You don't? Man, I don't know what's going on in this country, okay? But what mainstream media says I am is not who I am. And it's bigger than Alex Jones. If they can misrepresent who I am, Howard Stern, I've been on your network more than 30 times. Gosh, it's probably more than that. And you had polls, and you said, my gosh, he may be the most popular guest we've ever had. It's the same thing on Joe Rogan. I'm not bragging. I'm popular. I'm regular. Making a joke out of that. Crapped at least 5 times today. The point is that I'm just a regular guy. So when all those times I went on your shows, were you complicit in the last 7, 8 years of Sandy Hook conspiracies? Howard, I never talked about Sandy Hook on your show or any of your shows because I hardly ever talked about it, Howard. It's an obscenity that these Democratic Party lawyers, some of them federal prosecutors who are now private lawyers that are suing me, are admittedly thinking we're like mafia dons and they're going to find some criminal stuff. These people are delusional. And so in my name, Howard, they keep saying, I'm saying nobody died at Sandy Hook so they can exploit those dead kids some more. That's my view on it. It was like I was on George Norrie in LA a few months ago. I've been on his show over 100 times. He's a 3-time Emmy Award-winning journalist. He said, yeah, Alex, you've been on. We looked it up over 100 times. Over 100 times over 17 years. You've never talked about Sandy Hook on the show. Do you know what it's like to have people say you're the Sandy Hook man and you did all this stuff out of 2 or 3 broadcasts edited deceptively? But see, I've learned a lot about how the scumbaggery works. 3 years ago, Hillary started saying that I was the Sandy Hook man, that I was sending people to people's houses to harass their kids and do all this stuff that I hadn't done. And then the news just said, why don't you just apologize? You know, if it ever hurt anybody that you covered people questioning. And I said, sure, I apologize. All hell broke loose because it was disingenuous. They just wanted me to say I was guilty of things I hadn't even done, though it was still free speech. So it's so frustrating to see Howard Stern, who I remember growing up in Dallas when he was first really big on the radio. And I forget the name of the talk show he was doing on TV too, where you'd play bongos on people's butts and my dad laughing about it and everything, and me laughing. And then all the crazy stuff Howard Stern had on and all the tongue-in-cheek and all of it. I mean, if you wanted, by that yardstick, to take what he'd said and done and edit together, you could sue him into oblivion. I'm not saying you should. I believe in free speech. But to watch Howard Stern go from Mr. First Amendment man, if there was a First Amendment man like a superhero, it'd be Howard Stern, according to him. And now I know folks at XM in the executive branch and all the people at Howard Stern agrees with the establishment that I shouldn't be allowed on air and that my speech is too dangerous. Now, did Howard Stern have his testicles removed? Or did he never have them to begin with, and was he a total poser? And look, Howard, I don't need your show. It's still popular. You're still an icon. It's a shadow of its former self because of the saturation of media. I get it. You don't want to work for 3 days a week. Fine. Most guys would have retired long ago. I'm not here saying all this in case you're asking on your show. I'm saying I wish you weren't acting like a pathetic little cowardly weasel. And that you'd be the Howard Stern that was for free speech that people supported. That's how you got big, not just your talent. But the fact that people tried to censor you, you springboarded that to the #1 position in many areas of media. You could actually argue at one point you were king of all media. And now you piss on people that are just trying to tell the truth. And look, I get it. Oh, we mentioned your Infowars.com, you're lucky. And then the guy says, I have poison in my supplements. That's just added in there to, well, you don't want to promote his products. Well, just say there's poison in it. Branded as poison. So let's finish up the Stern piece, and I'll play the real child trafficking piece about the Clintons with the proof, with the Washington Post and Senate reports. You think you're playing it safe, Stern? You're not. I don't care about coming on your show. I want you to come out and defend the First Amendment. That would get my respect. Joe Rogan did it. You should do it. Maybe you got balls still. Maybe you got them like, Silence the Lambs tucked up behind you. Are you Howard Stern or are you Buffalo Bill? Let's go out to break with this clip. Here it is.
We also have to ask ourselves, have I been entirely truthful? I don't know about you, but I have not. I haven't been entirely truthful. I'll give you one example. These are my
subhuman crab claws.
That is my truth. And Guillermo, anything you want to address?
Yeah, Jimmy, I'm a horse humanoid hybrid.
All right, look. There you go. Alex, I have to leave you now. I know we try to give you an opportunity to get your voice out there, and I hope you enjoyed it.
I understand you got to go give the Chi-Com's MERV technology for the ICBMs. By the way, apologize to the panel. We didn't get to clean out the computer. Arab Obama, do you have anything you would like to add today? All right. Enough out of you before you put a hex on us.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
Howard, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
And by the way, what's your one-stop shop for survival gear books and wellness supplements at a discount price?
What?
Infowars.com. You get the info. Warrior Patriot Pack. You buy the Patriot Pack, you get the new book, you get the Secret Ancient Brain Milk, full of vitamins, full of toxins. Buy now, and you'll get a Jimmy Kimmel Loves NAMBLA t-shirt. We're selling those.
That might be a big insurance. All right, we'll be right back with the real NAMBLA. Stay with us. I see it as a compliment that Howard Stern talks about me every week and does these big, expensive, fancy puppet shows and plugs Infowars.com. I mean, that guy has arguably one of the top radio shows in the country. He's been #1 before. That's great. That's always a form of endearment, even if somebody's lying about you, they're obsessed with you. But I want to really talk to Howard Stern about something. Then I'm going to get to the child trafficking video of our crew that is so damn important and so documented. But I'm going to tell you this right now, Howard. You just had a big cancer scare. And I had my genetics tested, like I said, 5 years ago. And they'd been in for about a year, and my doctor called me and he said, you never came in for your consultation. You paid thousands for this big top medical scan of your DNA. We took all this blood for all the blood work, and we had blood tests. This isn't like 23andMe or whatever, okay? This is like the real deal. And I get in there, and they go, here's all your genes for this and that. And as we thought, you're Northern European mainly. Basically, they can see the genetics coming down into Germany and into England. It's Viking mainly. And they said, you've got all your genes but one that's only halfway turned on to not absorb vitamin B12. And the doctor was explaining to me, medical doctors, like 4 degrees, top clinic in Austin. He said, you've got to take injectable vitamin B12. And he said, and I don't care where you get it. We don't make money on it. You just need to get it. And I get the prescription and I forget to do it. It's amazing. And I've got friends and family that, I give them a shot of it in the fat, and they just can't believe it, the energy they get. The next best thing, Howard, is, this is a plug, by the way, pure methylcobalamin, same medical grade, under the tongue. You can absorb a lot of it. Because here's the thing. You're going to say, well, I'm Jewish. Well, you're also European, you're Catholic and Jewish background. But, I mean, you take Russian Ashkenazi Jews. I mean, they're like as European as it gets. The exact same traits. I looked it up, actually, this morning, thinking about doing this, because I already read that. Do you know that there's only one group that gets cancer more than Northern Europeans from lack of B12 absorption? Turns out Jews have the same mutation as Northern Europeans. Some Japanese have it too. But almost all Northern Europeans have it. Where 3 of my genes are shut off, 1 is halfway shut off. Some people get 4 genes shut off. They're dead by 10 years old, dude, okay? So you better get your genetics tested, and instead of making jokes about my supplements, don't get it from me, go get it from a medical doctor. It's like Glenn Beck. Stern was very, very nice, to have me on the show. Somebody like Glenn Beck would never do that, but talk about nice, Matt Drudge. Beck said he was going blind. He went for a month off, went to Utah like 6, 7 years ago, remember? And Beck said he was going blind. Well, all the studies show, macular degeneration, all of it, that aspartame in thousands of foods and Diet Coke and almost all the so-called gums you get that are supposedly sugar-free, or sugar gums even have it, it causes degeneration in the cornea, in the rods, at the cones. The number one thing you can do for your eyes is eat sweet potatoes and carrots and exercise, because that flushes blood through your cells. The worst thing you can do is drink aspartame. So I wrote this big, huge article with all the medical studies and everything else, and Glenn Beck attacked me on air and made fun of me. Aspartame, they tried to approve it in the 60s. They couldn't. They gave it to rhesus monkeys. It killed them. But they got it approved in the early 80s. Reagan was a good president. We had a lot of medical tyranny go through. Forced inoculation, vaccine liability protection. And so Beck made a joke about it, but Drudge linked to our story and was trying to help Glenn Beck. And Glenn Beck didn't care. So if you are a Northern European or you are a Russian Jew, if you're not taking B12, you're a crazy person. You're a crazy person. And yes, I'm selling it. It's like David Hogg goes, I've seen Jones's show. He says there's toxins in the water, so we need to filter it, and then he sells filters. Yeah, I don't think my audiences are idiots. I've got the best filters at the best prices. It's a symbiotic relationship. I sell you the best rated filter. Go look at the best price because it funds us, and I feel good at night about it, and I use it. People ask how I have so much energy. I take B12. In fact, somebody go to my office refrigerator. I'm going to inject on air right now. Will somebody go to their office refrigerator? I need to do this twice a week. I haven't done it about a week. I'm going to have plenty of energy. Oh, I bet Daria wants to go back there. She knows how good it is. Anyways, and people go, oh, God, we inject in your veins. No, it goes in your fat, and then you get like 50-something% absorbed. Under your tongue, 10%. You eat a pill, maybe 1%. That's the thing. You don't absorb B12. You could eat a whole bushel of mushrooms. You could eat a seal steak. It's full of B12. You're not getting it. You have to get it in your blood. So I'm just going to take this as an opportunity for everybody. This is a win-win. Fund our operation, Get Ultra 12. Get Ultra 12. Ultra 12 is the new Secret 12, double strong, signed a year contract, got a better deal. They have new formulation. It's from what we've researched, this is the strongest, purest methylcobalamin, which is the high end. The high end, it's the best at 50% off. Howard Stern, try Ultra 12. See what it does. Try X2. It's not a joke. They've all been tested. They're the cleanest and best out there. But let me tell you, you could be black. You could be Hispanic. Most people don't absorb B12 either. B12 is that missing link. But if you're a Northern European, it's a death sentence because you do not absorb it in your body, and your body, you will die. You have to have oxygen. You have to have water. You have to have vitamin C. You have to have vitamin B12. You have to have iodine. These are things that are absolute, not debatable. You die in 4 or 5 days without water. You die in about 3 weeks without food. You die in 4 minutes without oxygen. You die in 6 months without vitamin C, scurvy. Come on over here, thank you. So I want to explain something. I give my children Ultra 12. Here's my needles from my medical doctor. Oh, I'll inject this right down here on air. And again, I'm not selling medical grade, go inject this. I say, go to your medical doctor, get your genetics tested. Let me tell you something, I could be totally exhausted and have to do some overnight radio show. I don't drink coffee. You know what I do? I take some military grade iodine, X2. I think this is almost out here. I get a dose out of here. And I inject B12, baby. And this is the exact same stuff. This is from a medical doctor that's in Ultra 12, but we're not licensed to sell as injectable, so do not inject it. Now, you see that right there? Boom, right here. Clean, pure energy. Overriding my genetic mutation as a Northern European that my body does not absorb it except in the bloodstream. That's what we're talking about. It's not joke, Stern. So if you want to live, Stern, do some damn research, take medical grade iodine and take B12. People want to know why I'm bouncing off the walls? The best thing I ever did was go to that medical doctor. He got recommended by a good friend of mine. He said, man, you're 40. You're really stressed. You got to go get your blood tested. You got to go get your genetics tested. You got to go look this up. You got to take care of yourself. And I went and I did it. And I didn't do half of what the doctor told me, and I was supposed to go back and get more checkups now. It's been 5 years, but zoom in on this. This is not what we sell. This is methyl B12. That just means altered B12. Methylcobalamin, the highest quality, and that's it right there. That's what I take. Been a week since I took it. But I just took some of that on air for your TV viewer. That's what it's all about. I'm going to get to the real child kidnapping rings and all the mainstream news admitting it, and then Howard Stern makes jokes about it, but I don't think Howard Stern is a child molester. I don't think... the guest he had almost won. And I get it's all a joke, but see, it belittles the real stuff that's going on. So I'm trying to help you, Stern. You need to take your B12. You need your iodine. You need your X2. Howard Stern needs his X2. Well, I've got some really good news for all the viewers and all the listeners. This was going to be a big loss because we couldn't get the deep earth crystals anymore. It's been a 1.5-year fight, but we have the original producer, the original crystal source, the best atomic iodine in the world. X2, ladies and gentlemen, is back. X2 is back. Deep earth crystal, not from seaweed, where it's not pure, it can be contaminated, but true atomic iodine. We get it from the DEA approved. That has to be held in a contained facility before it's then put into the process that makes it legal to put out. Because anybody who's watched Breaking Bad knows true atomic iodine is used in the production of methamphetamine. It's not a drug, it's not bad, it's good for you. You have to have it. But it's very hard to get atomic iodine. Nobody has ever really done this until we worked with researchers and others in the last few years to do it. And so we've gone back to the original producer, and we've been able to do a deal to not be put over a barrel from the extractors of it, the oil companies, to bring it to you. So X2 is back. We got it. This deal just happened about a month ago. We rushed it into production. It's been bottled. The labels are being put on today. And then it's going to be on an 18-wheeler right here to Austin from the plant in the Rockies. And it's going to be shipped out to you. Be sure and sign up for auto ship. Get an additional 10% off. The 25% off celebration of the fact that we got it back and we're relaunching it. Research the iodine conspiracy. Find out why it's so important. Find out what the globalists don't want you to have. The good halogens, they want you to have the bad halogens at InfoWarsStore.com. That's the umbrella site. InfoWarsLife.com takes you right to the supplements. And this is the King Daddy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is X2 Original, now back at InfoWarsStore.com.